Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritcham Naran Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayamudhirayet Nashta Prayeshu Avadreshu Nityam Bhāgavata-sevayā Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपाकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः हरिः ओम् श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 7. The killing of the demon Trinavarta. Sri Rajavacha येनैनावतारेण भगवान् हरिरीश्वरः करोति कर्णरम्याणि मनोज्ञानी च नः प्रभो यच्छृण्वतोपैति अरतिर्वृत्न सत्त्वं च शुध्यति अचिरेण पुंसः भक्तिर्हरौ तत्पुरुषे स सख्यं तदेवं हारं वदमन्यसे चेत् King Parikshit said, My Lord Shukadeva Goswami, all the various activities exhibited by the incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are certainly pleasing to the ear and to the mind. Simply by one's hearing of these activities, the dirty things in one's mind immediately vanish. Generally, we are reluctant to hear about the activities of the Lord, but Krishna's childhood activities are so attractive that they are automatically pleasing to the mind and ear. Thus, one's attachment for hearing about material things, which is the root cause of material existence, vanquishes one gradually develops devotional service to the Supreme Lord, attachment for Him, and friendship with devotees who give us the contribution of Krishna consciousness. If you think it fit, kindly speak about those activities of the Lord. अथान्यत् अपि कृष्णस्य तोकाचरितम् अद्भुतं मानुषं लोकम् आसाद्य तज्जातिम् अनुरुन्धतः. Please describe other pastimes of Krishna, the Supreme Personality, who appeared on this planet Earth imitating a human child and performing wonderful activities like killing Putana. श्रीसुक उवाच कदाचित् औतानिक कौतुकाप्लवे जन्मर्कयोगे समवेत योषितां वादित्रगीता द्विजमन्त्रवाचकै चकार सूनोरभिषेचनं सती. Shukadeva Goswami said, when Mother Yashoda's baby was slanting his body to attempt to raise and turn around, this attempt was observed by a Vedic ceremony. In such ceremony called Utthana, which is performed when a child is due to leave the house for the first time, the child is properly bathed. Just after Krishna turned 3 months old, Mother Yashoda celebrated this ceremony with other women of the neighborhood. On that day, there was a conjunction of the moon with the constellation Rohini. As the Brahmanas joined by chanting Vedic hymns and professional musicians also took part, this great ceremony was observed by Mother Yashoda. नन्दस्य पत्नी कृतमज्जनादिकं विप्रैकृतस्वस्त्ययनं सुपूजितैः अन्नाद्यवासस्रग् अभीष्टदेनुभिः सञ्जात निद्राक्षम् असिशयच्चनैः. After completing the bathing ceremony for the child, Mother Yashoda received the Brahmanas by worshipping them with proper respect and giving them ample food grains and other eatables, clothing, desirable cows, and garlands. The Brahmanas properly chanted Vedic hymns to observe the auspicious ceremony, and when they finished and Mother Yashoda saw that the child felt sleepy, she lay down on the bed with the child until he was peacefully asleep. औत्थानिकौ मनस्विनी समागतान् पूजयति व्रजौकसः नैवाशृणोद् वै रुदितं सुतस्य सा रुदं स्तनार्थी चरणाव उदक्षिपत्. The liberal mother Yashoda observed in celebrating the Uttana ceremony. Sorry. The liberal mother Yashoda, absorbed in celebrating the Uttana ceremony, was busy receiving guests, worshipping them with all respect, and offering them clothing, cows, garlands, and grains. Thus, she could not hear the child crying for his mother. At that time, the child Krishna, demanding to drink the milk of his mother's breast, angrily threw his legs upward. अधः शयानस्य शिशोरनल्पका प्रवालमृद्वङ्घ्रि हतं व्यवर्तत विध्वंसनानारसकुप्यभाजनं व्यत्यस्तचक्राक्षविभिन्नकूबरम्. Lord Sri Krishna was lying down underneath the hard cart in one corner of the courtyard, and although his little legs were as soft as leaves, when he struck the cart with his legs, it turned over violently and collapsed. The wheels separated from the axle, the hubs and spokes fell apart, and the pole of the hard cart broke. On the cart there were many little utensils made of various metals, and all of them scattered hither and thither. दृष्ट्वा यशोदा प्रमुखा व्रजस्त्रियाम् औत्थानिके कर्मणि या समागताः नन्दादयश्चाद्भुतदर्शनाकुलाः कथं स्वयं वै सकटं विपर्यगात्. When Mother Yashoda and the other ladies who had assembled for the Uttana festival and all the men headed by Nanda Maharaj saw the wonderful situation, they began to wonder how the hand cart had collapsed it by itself. They began to wander here and there trying to find the cause, but they were unable to do so. ऊचुरव्यवसितमतीन् गोपान् गोपी च बालकाः रुदत्यानेन पादेन क्षिप्तम् एतं न संशयः. The assembled cowherd men and ladies began to contemplate how this thing had happened. Is it the work of some demon or evil planet? They asked. At that time, the small children present asserted that the cart had been kicked apart by the baby Krishna. As soon as the crying baby had kicked the cart's wheel, the cart had collapsed. There was no doubt about it. न ते श्रद्धधिरे गोपां बालभाषिक्तम् इति उत अप्रमेयं बलं तस्य बालकस्य न ते विदुः. The assembled gopis and gopas, unaware that Krishna is always unlimited, could not believe that baby Krishna had such inconceivable power. They could not believe the statements of the children, and therefore they neglected these statements as being childish talk. रुदं तं सुतम् आदाय यशोदाग्रसङ्कितां कृतः स्वस्त्ययनं विप्रैः सूक्तैस्तनम् अपाययत्. Thinking that some bad planet had attacked Krishna, Mother Yashoda picked up the crying child and allowed him to suck her breast. Then she called for experienced brahmanas to chant Vedic hymns and perform an auspicious ritualistic ceremony. पूर्ववत् स्थापितं गोपैर्बलिभिः स परिच्छदं विप्राहुत्वार्चयां चक्रुर्दध्यक्षत कु कुश कुशाम्बुभिः. After the strong, stout cowherd men assembled the pots and paraphernalia on the hand cart and set it up as before, the Brahmanas performed a ritualistic ceremony with a fire sacrifice to appease the bad planet, and then with rice, grains, kusha, water, and curd, they worshipped the Supreme Lord. यः सूयानृत दम्भेर्षा हिंसामानविवर्जिताः न तेषां सत्यशीलानाम् आशिषो विफलाः कृताः इति बालकम् आदाय सामर्गयजुर् उपाकृतैः जलैः पवित्रौषधिभिर् अभिषिच्य द्विजोत्तमैः वाचयित्वा स्वस्त्ययनं नन्दगोपसमाहितः उत्वाचाग्निं द्विजातिभ्यः प्रादात् अन्नं महागुणम्. When Brahmanas are free from envy, untruthfulness, unnecessary pride, grudges, disturbance by opulence of others, and false prestige, their blessings never go in vain. Considering this, Nanda Maharaj soberly took Krishna on his lap and invited Krishna, such truly Brahmanas to perform a ritualistic ceremony according to the holy hymns of Samaveda, Rigveda, and Yajurveda. Then, while the hymns were being chanted, he bathed the child with water mixed with pure herbs, and after performing a fire ceremony, he sumptuously fed all the Brahmanas with first class grains and other food. गावः सर्वगुणोपेता वासश्रग्रुक्ममालिनीः आत्मजाभ्युदयार्थाय प्रादात्ते चान्वयुञ्जत्तः. Nanda Maharaj, for the sake of affluence of his own son Krishna, gave the Brahmanas cows fully decorated with garments, garlands, and gold necklaces. These cows, fully qualified to give ample milk, were given to the Brahmanas in charity, and the Brahmanas accepted them and bestowed blessings upon the whole family and especially upon Krishna. विप्रामन्त्रविदो युक्ताः तैर्याः प्रोक्तास्तथा शिशः ता निष्फला भविष्यन्ति न कदाचित् अपि स्फुतं स्फुटम्. The Brahmanas, who were completely expert in chanting the Vedic hymns, were all yogis fully equipped with mystic powers. Whatever blessings they spoke were certainly never fruitless. एकदारोहम् आरूढं लालायन्ति सुतं सति गरिमाणं शिशोर्वोढुं न सेहे गिरिकूटवत्. One day, a year after Krishna's appearance, Mother Yashoda was patting her son on her lap, but suddenly she felt the child to be heavier than a mountain peak, and she could no longer bear his weight. भूमौ निधाय तं गोपी विस्मिता भारपीडिता महापुरुषम् आदद्यौ जगताम् आसकर्मसु. Feeling the child to be as heavy as the entire universe and therefore being anxious, thinking that perhaps the child was being attacked by some other ghost or demon, the astonished mother Yashoda put the child down on the ground and began to think of Narayana. Foreseeing disturbances, she called for the Brahmanas to counteract this heaviness and then she engaged in her other household affairs. She had no alternative than to remember the lotus feet of Narayana, for she could not understand that Krishna was the original source of everything. दैत्यो नाम्ना तृणावर्तः कंसभृत्य प्रणोदितः चक्रवातस्वरूपेण जहारासीनम् अर्भकम्. While the child was sitting on the ground, a demon named Trinavarta, who was a servant of Kamsa, came there as a whirlwind at Kamsa's instigation and very easily carried the child away into the air. गोकुलं सर्व आवृण्वन् मुष्णं चक्षुंसि रेणुभिः ईरयन् सुमहाघोरा शब्देन प्रदिशो दिशः. Covering the whole land of Gokula with particles of dust, that demon, acting as a strong whirlwind, covered everyone's vision and began vibrating everywhere with a greatly fearful sound. मुहूर्तम् अभवद्घोष्टं रजसा तमसा वृतं सुतं यशोदनापश्यत् तस्मिन् यस्तवती यतः. For a moment, the whole pasturing ground was overcast with dense darkness from the dust storm, and Mother Yashoda was unable to find her son where she had placed him. न पश्यत् कश्चनात्मानं परं चापि विमोहितः तृणावर्त निःसृताभिः सर्का सर्कराभिर् upadhrutah. Because of the bits of sand thrown about by Trinavarta, people could not see themselves or anyone else, and thus they were illusioned and disturbed. इति खरपवन चक्रपां सुवर्षे सुतपदवीम् अबलाविलक्ष्यमाता अतिकरुण अतिकरुणम् अनुस्मरन्ति अशोचद् भुवि पतिता भुवि पतितामृत वत्सका गौ. Because of the dust storm stirred up by the strong whirlwind, Mother Yashoda could find no trace of her son, nor could she understand why. Thus she fell down on the ground like a cow who had lost her calf and began to lament very pitifully. रुदितम् अनुनिशम्य तत्र गोप्यो वृषम् मुख्यः रुरुदम् अनुपलभ्य नन्दसूनं पवन उपारतपांसु वर्षवेगे. When the force of dust, storm, and the wind subsided, Yashoda's friends, the other gopis, approached Mother Yashoda, hearing her pitiful crying. Not seeing Krishna present, they too felt very much aggrieved and joined Mother Yashoda in crying, their eyes full of tears. तृणावर्तशान्तरयो वात्यारूपधरो हरन् कृष्णं नभो गतो गन्तुं न शक्नोत् भूरिभारभृत्. Having assumed the form of a forceful whirlwind, the demon Trinavarta took Krishna very high in the sky, but when Krishna became heavier than the demon had to stop his force and could go no further. तम् अस्मानं मन्यमाना आत्मानो गुरुमत्तया गले गृहीत उत्स्रष्टुं न शक्नोत् अद्भुतात्भकम्. Because of Krishna's weight, Trinavarta considered him to be like a great mountain or a hunk of iron. But because Krishna had caught the demon's neck, the demon was unable to throw him off. He therefore thought of the child as wonderful, since he could neither bear the child nor cast aside the burden. गलग्रहण निश्चेष्टो दैत्यो निर्गतलोचनः अव्यक्तरावोऽन्यपतत् सह बालो व्यसुर्व्रजे. When with Krishna grasping him by the throat, Trinavarta choked, unable to make even a sound or even to move his hands and legs, his eyes popping out. The demon lost his life and fell along with the little boy down to the ground of Vraja. तमन्तरिक्षात् पतितं सलीलायां विशीर्ण सर्वावयवम् कला करालं पुरं यथा रुद्र सरेण विद्धं श्रियो रुदत्यो ददृशु समेताः. While the gopis who had gathered were crying for Krishna, the demon fell from the sky onto a big slab of stone, his limbs dislocated as if he had been pierced by the arrows of Lord Shiva like Tripurasura. प्रादाय मात्रे प्रतिहृत्य विस्मिताः कृष्णं च तस्योरसि लम्भमानं तं स्वस्ति मन्त्रं पुरुषादनीतं विहाय सा मृत्युमुखात् प्रमुक्तं गोप्यश्च गोपाः किल नन्दमुख्या लब्ध्वा पुनः प्रापुर ativa modam. The gopis immediately picked Krishna up from the chest of the demon and delivered him free from all inauspiciousness to Mother Yashoda. Because the child, although taken into the sky by the demon, was unhurt and now free from all danger and misfortune, the gopis, the cowherd men headed by Nanda Maharaj, were extremely happy. अहो बतात्यद्भुत एष रक्षसा बालो निवृत्तं गमितो भ्यगात पुनः हिंस्रं हिंस्रः स्वपापेन विहिंसितः खलः साधु समत्वेन भयाद् विमुच्यते. It is most astonishing that although this innocent child was taken away by the Rakshasas to be eaten, he has returned without having been killed or even injured, because this demon was envious, cruel, and sinful. He has been killed for his own sinful activity. This is the law of nature. An innocent devotee is always protected by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and a sinful person is always vanquished for his sinful life. किं न तपश्चीर्ण अधोक्षजार्चनं पूर्तेष्ठदत्तम् उत भूत सौहृदं यत्सम्परेतः पुनरेव बालको दृष्टा स्वबन्धून् प्रणयन् उपस्थितः. Nanda Maharaj and others said, we must previously have performed austerities for a long time, worshipped the Supreme Personality of Godhead, performed various pious activities for public life, constructing public roads and wells, and also given charity, as a result of which this boy, although faced with death, has returned to give happiness to his relatives. दृष्ट्वाद्भुतानि बहुशो नन्दगोपो बृहध्वने वसुदेववचो भूयो मानयाम् आसविस्मितः. Having seen all these incidents in Brihadvana, Nanda Maharaj became more and more astonished, and he remembered the words spoken to him by Vasudeva in Mathura. एकदार्भकम् आदाय स्वाङ्कम् आरोप्य भामिनी प्रस्नुतं पाययाम् आस स्तनं स्नेह paripluta. One day Mother Yashoda, having taken Krishna up and placed him on her lap, was feeding him milk from her breast with maternal affection. The milk was flowing from her breast and the child was drinking it. पीतप्रायय प्री पीतप्रायस्य जननी सुतस्य रुचिरस्मितं मुखं लालयति राजन् जृम्भतो दृशे इदं खं रोदसी ज्योतिरनीकमासा सूर्येन् सूर्येन्दुवह्नि स्वसनाम्बुधिंश्च द्वीपान्नगांस्तद्दुहितृवनानि भूतानि यानि स्थिरजङ्गमानि. O King Parikshit, when the child Krishna was almost finished drinking his mother's milk and Mother Yashoda was touching him and took looking at his beautiful, brilliantly smiling face, the baby yawned, and Mother Yashoda saw in his mouth the whole sky, the higher planetary system, and the earth, and luminaries in all directions, the sun, the moon, fire, air, the seas, islands, mountains, rivers, forests, and all kinds of living entities, moving and non moving. सा वीक्ष्य विश्वं सहसा राजन् सञ्जातवेपतुः सम्मील्य मृगसावाक्षी नेत्रे आसीत् सुविस्मिता. When Mother Yashoda saw the whole universe within the mouth of her child, her heart began to throb, and in astonishment, she wanted to close her restless eyes. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So here we come across wonderful pastimes of the Lord, even when he was just a few months old, 3 months old baby, doing great feats. Yeah, when so this shows that he was playing, just like how kids play hide and seek with the friends or with the parents, and the kid is happy and the mother is happy. Here Krishna was playing a different game where he was becoming heavy and which was unbearable and was surprising, and then again he became light. So these wonderful deeds, yeah, shows on one side that he is playing, yeah, he is enhancing the loving relationship between him and the Gokula Vasis. So whoever were present there and Mother Yashoda and everyone, they were enjoying, the Gopas and Gopis were enjoying the Lord even when he was just few months. Then this goes further where there is a mention of Trinavarta. Uh, we can see Trinavarta in one of the translations. Yeah, here we see, one second. In the verse number 31, in the verse 31, it is mentioned that in the purport Prabhupada mentions Krishna conscious life means innocent devotional life, and a sadhu is one who is fully devoted to Krishna. This is very important in our life. If we want to practice, we should be very, very simple. We should not have duplicity. We should practice um, devotion free from duplicity. That's why it's mentioned here. Because this demon was envious, cruel, and sinful. So, yeah, if we reflect our own life, yeah, are we not too far from Trinavarta? In one way, yeah, we have a sinful life. We have committed so many sins. We are also cruel sometimes, yeah, though we may think that I am always right, but we are also cruel. And then, above all, is that we are filled with envy, uh, not able to see others' advancement. Yeah, and he has been killed for his own sinful activities. This is mentioned. This is the law of nature. Innocent devotee is always protected by the Lord. Is the conclusion here. If we are innocent, then we are safe. But if we are not innocent, then we are punished. Here, this is what we can see in the case of Trinavarta. Krishna could see that he was very cruel and envious, and that's why Lord has punished. Yeah, bhajate mam ananya bhag sadhur eva samanvatah. Anyone fully attached to Krishna is sadhu. So this is very important. I remember Jayadvait Maharaj very often quotes this, and whenever the topic comes about dealings with devotees, he says, Abhiche Suduracharo. Suduracharo means he's not just Duracharo. Achar means activity. Sudurachara means one who is committing the most abominable actions. Bhajate mam ananya bhag. But such a person, even if one commits the most abominable action, if he is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly. Huh? Why? Sadhureva samantavya. Huh? Samyag vyavasito hi saha. So because he is situated in determination that he will want to become a devotee. That is the qualification that a devotee is um, recognized by the Lord, saying, hey, yes, though he is committing mistakes, though he is not doing well, though he has all the sinful thoughts, cruelty, envy, all these things, but still he is a sadhu. Why? Because he is determined to overcome all this. But if that determination itself is gone, yeah, then he is a very, what do you call this? Not serious in devotion, and such a person, yeah, is not to be in the purport Prabhupada mentions in this Bhagavad Gita 9:30. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated that if any person falls down but is wholeheartedly engaged in transcendental service of the Lord, being situated within his heart purifies him and excuses him from the abomination. So Krishna is present if we are sincere. If we are not sincere, then Lord is leaving, okay, carry on with your own agenda. Then who will take over? It is Durga Devi. It is the Maya Shakti that will attack. That's why in that purport it said, therefore the process of devotional service is always successful. No one should deride a devotee for some accidental fall down from the ideal path. For as explained in the next verse, such occasional fall downs will be stopped in due course as soon as devotee is completely situated in Krishna consciousness. So that is what is said. So here we can see in devotional life one has faith in this process. Srimataam Swagata Krishnam Punya Shravana Kirtanam. Such faith is one of the six kinds of surrender. Rakshishyatiti Vishwasaha. Haribhakti Vilas is saying. One of the process of surrender is that one should simply depend on Krishna, convinced that He will give one all protection. So we should really take shelter. The more and more we take shelter of Krishna, the more and more we are fearless, the more and more we are safe. We are not really thinking how to protect myself. What should I do? The most of the time we think of how to protect us, yeah, from others. But rather, if we serve Krishna, Krishna will protect us. There have been many instances in which a devotee like Prahlad Maharaj or Dhruva Maharaj has been put in difficulty even by his father, but has been saved under all circumstances. Therefore, Prabhupada concludes in this purport 31. Therefore, our only business is to become Krishna conscious and depend fully on Krishna for all protection. And coming back, we every demon represents anartha. And what is anartha that Trinavarta is representing is false pride. False pride produced by scholarship, which gives rise to wrangling debates and arguments. And this is what happens here. What happened here in this case, it produces controversies which is disloyal to the path of pure bhakti. Uh, so all these things are represented. Why? Because Trinavarta is like a whirlwind. Whirlwind is, you know what, um, carries away the dust like a storm. False pride also, which coming from dry or material logic, uh, that leads to bogus philosophy. There is no substance in this whirlwind or whatever. Na? Can it really continue to hold Krishna in that and then nothing? After some time, when the real substance is heavy, it couldn't handle. So Trinavarta is like Lord Krishna becomes moved by the humility of his devotees who carefully avoid this fault. And he strangles the demon and removes the thorn from his devotees' endeavors in devotional service. So that's why this demon took the shape of a vast whirlwind and lifted Krishna way up into the sky in order to try to kill him. But Lord became so heavy that he brought down the demon so hard that Trinavarta was killed. So all these bogus philosophies, which are due to uh, misunderstanding and because of false pride, everything will be yeah uh, broken into pieces by the power and weight, the strength of the Lord. Okay, yeah, we'll stop here. Someone would like to say anything or any questions? No. Then have a nice evening. Tomorrow we will see. Most likely we'll have the class. Otherwise we will post. So tomorrow we will discuss another exciting chapter that will be uh, eighth chapter, right? Yeah, it will be eighth one. Yeah, Krishna shows universal form within his mouth. Yeah. If someone have gone to this Brahmanda Ghat, yeah, that's the place where it happened. Yeah. Yeah, we'll discuss tomorrow. Hare Krishna. पंचकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय I have one extra